Hello and welcome to the short Vort on Parshas Terumah dedicated to Liluiy, Nishmas of Mori, Naftali ben Yitzchak, Isaac Zichrono Levracha. This week's Devar Torah is adapted from the Majesty of Man and is based on the words of the Divrei Torah of Rav Alter Henach HaKohen, Leibowitz, 1918, 2008. Rosh Yeshiva Rabbeinu Yisrael Meir HaKohen, also known as Yeshiva's Chavetz Chaim, and stay tuned for an amazing story. It says in Perek Chaf Hey, Pasuk Beis, Daber el Bnei Yisrael, V'yichu li Truma. Speak to the Bnei Yisrael and take for me an offering. Rashi there explains, V'yichu li Truma li Lishmi. He says this means for my sake. When it comes to donating for the Mishkan, you would think it would be easy to people get a sincere dedication for the sake of heaven. Like, who would not want to donate towards the third Beis Hamikdash? Yesh Hashem, it should come soon. Also, the Bnei Yisrael, they had sinned with the Egel Hazav, the golden calf, and they were afraid that Hashem would not forgive them. So Hashem offered them the opportunity to build the Mishkan to earn the forgiveness and as a sign of Hashem's forgiveness. The Bnei Yisrael were undoubtedly overjoyed that they had this opportunity. So why was it necessary for the Torah to say the additional words, li, lishmi, for me? What reason besides for Hashem's sake, for heaven's sake, would they have donated? Why was this needed? So Rav Leibowitz answers, this shows us about a problem that we all face every day. Even if the Yetzer Hara can't prevent us from doing mitzvos, he can take away the lishma from our mitzvos. He can take away the purity of intent. He can have us do it for honor or prestige or some other motivation to divert us from performing the mitzvah wholeheartedly and with purity of intent. And that's why we needed, even in this circumstance, that it would be Lishmi, to exhort the Bnei Yisrael to do it with the pure thoughts. Reb Leibowitz continues and says, concentrating on refining our motivations can help us sanctify even our day-to-day activities. The Shulchan Aruch, Orach Chaim 231, says that we can elevate our spiritual activity, our physical activities, by having in mind the proper thing. That before you go to sleep or you eat, or even you have recreation, if you're saying, I'm doing this so that I should be healthy, to fulfill Hashem's mitzvos, to learn Hashem's Torah, that elevates the actions that we do. Even going to work, if you're doing it because I want to support my family, to be able to be b'kayim the mitzvos and learn Torah, that's taking an elevation. We're not living dual lives with spiritual and physical parts, but we're combining the two. So here we have an opportunity to purify our intentions to the ultimate goal of serving Hashem with the holiness that he deserves. Now for this amazing story regarding Reb Henach Leibowitz. It was in the 1980s, and there was a program by the New York State government that offered a grant for the installation of high-efficiency light fixtures in schools. Yeshiva Chavetz Chaim was eligible for the grant, and Rabbi Avram Ginsburg applied, and he estimated the cost at $75,000, and the yeshiva was approved, and they received the funds to do this activity. But he worked a little bit more, and he was able to get someone contracted to do it for less, for about $60,000. Rabbi Ginsburg was very excited about this windfall opportunity of $15,000. When he went to tell Reb Leibowitz about this, Reb Leibowitz says, you have to give it back. But Rabbi Ginsburg was not comfortable. The yeshiva was in financial straits, and here was an opportunity to help the situation. So Rabbi Leibowitz said, if you don't do it, I'll take care of it. So Rabbi Leibowitz called up the office, and a young clerk, newly hired at that office, answered the phone. When he explained the situation, the clerk said, that's something new. I'm not sure how to do that because no one has ever returned a grant before. So, but I'll call you back. A week later, he called back. He still didn't have any updates. He said, simply keep the funds. The Rosh Yeshiva said, I can't do that. It's not something, I need to find a way to return it. So they waited for the next call back from the clerk. and he spoke to the Rosh Hashiva, and he says, there's no way for us to take the money back. Please just keep it for your school. But Reb Henoch Leibowitz would not be dissuaded. He said, I'm going to write a check for your office and send it back to you. I cannot keep money that is not money. I cannot keep money that isn't rightfully mine. That clerk's name was David Patterson. Years later, he became the governor of New York. Patterson was still awed at that time by his dealings with Reb Henoch Leibowitz. He is the most honest person in the state of New York, the government told officials at a staff meeting in 2009. In my view, he is the gold standard of personal integrity. I measure everything I do with the question of whether it would pass his rigorous standards. What a kiddush Hashem. May we all be zocheh to have a kiddush Hashem and to bring the building of the Bayis Shlishi. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a wonderful week and a wonderful Shabbos.